Right, hello everyone, and welcome to a little Friday night live stream. If you're wondering, this is Harry. This is my pal Harry. So, you're a lizard, Harry. You're a lizard. A lizard. So yeah, Harry will just join me there. May as well wait there for the stream. I'm in a good mood. I'm laughing right now. I'm laughing a lot at Americans. Sorry, my American buddies over the pond. Uh, but the reason I'm laughing is not at all of you, obviously, just at the very silly, stupid ones. And what it is as you'll probably know in the news today, there's some Americans that are losing their minds a little bit over a certain thing that's happened. Um, I mean, what's actually happened isn't much actually, but they're they're acting like it is. But what I'm laughing at is not that. It's Count Dankula. Dankula is having the time of his life on Twitter, absolutely owning people. Basically, what he did is he updated his profile picture and stuff, and that to make it look like a Supreme Court justice. And he responded to one of Joe Biden's tweets, and the volume of mind-numbingly stupid Americans who genuinely think he's one of the Supreme Court justices, pouring all their hate and vitriol and stuff towards to Count Dankula, and he's just owning them and just responding back in very sarcastic ways and just absolutely hammering them, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious to watch. It's a thing of beauty. Because what we're talking about here is people who are obviously the thickest of the thick, because it takes literally 20 seconds of research, right? All you have to do is click on his profile on Twitter, and you'll see that it's Count Dankula, and he's not a Supreme Court justice, right? 20 seconds, and let's give them the benefit of the doubt because these are Americans. Some of them aren't as quick. Let's give them a minute, 60 seconds. If they just took 60 seconds to go over his profile and have a little look at it, they'd realise, this guy's having a laugh. He's not really a Supreme Court justice. But no, they can't even do that. They can't even do. There's so many of them that are just, so many of them that are just sort of taking the bait and having to go at him with all their rights, blah 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 blah, and he's just trolling them all with his responses. So let me just see if I can share this. Where is it now? I need this one. Is that working? There you are. So you can see here. If I click on this picture, but on Dank's profile, I mean. SCOTUS Supreme Court of the Uterus Squad, right? See, it doesn't even say Supreme Court of the United States. It says Supreme Court of the Uterus Squad. So you can see there within 5 seconds, right? This is somebody having a laugh. This is satire. This is one of the things that I love the internet for, just silliness, right? Complete silliness. And they were all having to go at him and saying, "How could you do this? How could you make this decision?" and stuff. But he's just running with it and just giving them back responses, and hardly any of them are cottoning on to the fact. It takes them a while. Give them a few minutes, and then huh? Is this guy not the real guy? It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious to me. So yeah, Dank is having the time of his life on Twitter right now, owning them all. If anyone doesn't know what it's about, basically the Supreme Court. It's all about abortion in America, and the Supreme Court have basically pushed it back to this individual states and saying, right, this actually isn't a constitutional issue for the federal thing. So they've pushed it back to the individual states to make their own decisions on it. That's all it is. So for people living in sort of blue states, nothing's really going to change. But it's just funny the amount of overreaction to Dankula's tweet and the fact that they actually think he's the genuine Supreme Court justice is very funny to me. Dank's great at that. He had a thing with Nicki Minaj. I can't even say her name. Nicki Minaj, her fans one time, where I think he tweeted a picture of his balls or something, and they somehow got them to retweet it, thinking that I don't know. I didn't follow what was going on. I just kind of saw the aftermath of it, and I was like, "This is hilarious. What's going on?" So he's very good at rattling people up, which I'm all for a bit of a laugh. He's just a bit of a laugh. He's he's actually a really nice guy. Doesn't mean anybody any harm. But yeah, so Twitter over the years has tried to sort of stamp out that kind of fun and frivolity. Is that the right word? No, I can't even speak tonight. Sorry. Um, anyway, I'll move on to a different subject. So, I finally got all the bits and pieces to try and bleed the rear brakes of a motorbike properly. So, did that. It was a bit of a chew on, but like I was thinking, surely this. As far as I could do, I could get like I thought, well, these brakes seem to be completely bled, and I'm trying to pump the back brake pedal, trying to get that piston to move, and it just will not move. So like I was a bit stumped. Um, so I thought, well, I've got two of these brake calipers because I've got the original one that was seized, and then I've got this one that's on the bike now, which also seems to be seized, but that was like a second-hand one as well. So I thought, well, I've got the other one off the bike. I've got to try and see if I can find a way to force that one out. And I don't have an air compressor, but I know that was one of the ways you can do, try and seal it up and fire air pressure in to pop out the piston. So I thought, well, I have got one of those little electric compressors for pumping up your car tires and stuff. So I rigged up a thing with that where I could try and get a seal with it, and it was going up, and I could see it went up to about 40 psi, and the thing just isn't budging. So correct me if I'm wrong here, chat, but I was looking on the internet trying to figure out, is 40 psi enough to move it? Surely it should be moving. If not, then it's knackered. And apparently, yeah, it should be moving with that amount of pressure. I think the proper air compressors, with the trigger, the gun thing, actually does about 150 psi, but that fires it out like a bullet. So yeah, so I've got one more trick up my sleeve. So the old one seems to be completely seized and knackered. The new one that's on there now, if I just disconnect that, drain the fluid out of that, and then do this thing I've done where I can link up the air compressor and get it up to 40 psi, then hopefully that'll move out the piston. And as long as I can get it to move in and out a few times, clean it up, make sure I should be able to free that up. Hopefully then, if I refill it with brake fluid and bleed it, and hopefully then it'll work. I don't know. I'm 50-50. Starting to lose my patience for this, to be honest, because it's the kind of thing that's easily fixable. But if I spent a fair bit of money on it, which I don't really want to be honest, because I mean, the summer for the UK, the summer's just starting, which also means for the UK, the summer is pretty much just finishing, because I think we get about 2 weeks usually. I don't know if it's going to be worth my bother to sort the bike out this summer. If I can fiddle on with what I've got and get the rear brake working, then yeah, sure, then I'll get it MOT'd and I'll be able to use it a little bit. If none of that works, it's not really worth me throwing the money out this year. Maybe next year I'll try and sort the brake out. But yeah, it's got me baffled. I'm doing everything right, and these pistons just won't move out. It's very strange. Yeah, I guess I could try and take it somewhere that's got an air compressor and just say, "Oh, could you do me a favour and just blast some air into that and just pop that out for me?" Ideally, I would love to just buy an air compressor, but I think my wife would kill me if I buy another tool, because I've just got so many tools and not a lot of space to put them. So we end up with just the tools all over the house. Every little cupboard and nook and cranny is filled with tools. But they're all useful. They all get used over time. There's so many jobs I've done around the house, DIY stuff, fixing things, working on the cars, working on my bike, where I've needed those tools. It is what it is. That's my excuse, wife, if you're watching. It's all good stuff. We need the tools. We do need them. So yeah, so I'd love to just buy an air compressor and then I could just fire it out whenever with the 150 psi or whatever it does. I'd be careful to chalk some bit of wood or something on the other side of it first, so that it didn't completely destroy itself or go and hit the wall or the bike or something. Because I've seen they can be pretty dangerous when people use compressed air to do that. So let me just have a quick look and see if there's any questions or anything in the chat. Nope. Actually, I should have checked earlier that the stream's even working. I hope it is. Hopefully it's working. So let me just bring Dank back on the screen. There he is. Having a laugh. I might just quickly see if there's any interesting news going on. I imagine it'll all be pretty much about this thing in America, which I don't want to get into too much because it is a really awkward subject with a lot of grey areas. It's never black and white. But yeah, let's see, where's the Google News? What do we got? UK stuff, elections. Yeah, it's about the US thing. I knew it would be. Nothing here that I really want to talk about on YouTube just yet. See, isn't that so sad that like I should just be able to talk about anything, but I just know that there's certain subjects that aren't wise to talk about on here because you just get yeeted. In fact, I'm sure this channel has been completely strangled by Silicon Valley idiots years ago, because the channel was briefly monetized years ago before they had the rule on certain amount of subscribers and hours and stuff. They deemed it worth monetizing. I thought, oh, that's good. Not that I could monetize most of my videos because they've got copyright material on with the songs, so I was never going to make anything from them anyway. But even the ones that could be, they took a dislike to one. I called it tribal dance, and I was just dancing around. I think I had like a fake spear in my hand and stuff, and fake, just like because it was all about the DanceBiker channel was all about these silly bike, dances while I was in my biker gear, and there was the one. Yeah, it's just like a kind of like an African dance, and somebody at Silicon Valley must have deemed that was offensive or something. So they said, oh, this isn't advertiser friendly. So they then pulled my monetized status, and then my channel seems to have just been throttled ever since. So I guess I'm on some kind of naughty or blacklist or something, which will never get changed. Because it was weird. Like I was saying, I was trying to do a super chat the other day, and it just won't let me. And there's no reason for that other than some shenanigans behind the scenes. Yeah, so in the end, when I wanted to message somebody, I used a Rumble rant, which is better anyway, actually, because it's better. It's better for a few reasons. I'll not get into it, but yeah. So I'm a bit baffled by YouTube. I think personally, I know what it's all about. I have certain beliefs, and sometimes I chat on people's videos and comment and stuff like that, and I think either a human or their algorithm have picked up that I don't really fit in with Silicon Valley's views. Yeah, I'm basically not a Satanist or a communist or whatever. I don't fit in with their values. So that's me on a blacklist, I think. But yeah, it is what it is. Whatever. But that's why I'm sometimes reluctant to talk about certain subjects on here because it's just not worth it. COVID. I don't care about COVID. Jog on. Had it twice. Move on. Don't care. It's now. It shouldn't really even be a thing anymore in terms of the news. It's not newsworthy anymore because now don't get me started on it, but the science of it, how the things become more spreadable but weaker, more spreadable but weaker. It's been long enough now that it's not really. It's just. Don't get me started. I'm saying that I'm talking to myself, but yeah, I shouldn't get myself wound up, aren't I? It's all the same stuff, just cycling here. Stuff I don't. London Underground workers vote for more strike action. Don't they get paid loads? I think I heard then they got like really good wages. I mean, I suppose the downside is you've got to live in London, so there's that, and all the cost of living in London's ridiculous. So I guess you need high wages, but I don't think they're particularly badly paid. I don't know what the conditions are like. Maybe the conditions are bad. I don't know. If you know anything about that, about what it's like to be a tube driver in London, let me know. I'll be interested. But they always seem to be striking. I remember like for decades, every now and then they'll have a strike. They must have surely their wages must be pretty decent. I thought it was quite a sought after job, but no. Cost of living, people cut back on food, shopping as price rises by that's unfortunately the result of locking down economies, and lots of other things that have happened. We see the effects of it. My wife volunteers at a food bank, so she sees the fluctuation in the amount of that they're required and needed. Thankfully it is still available for people in severe need, but I think that'll increase as the price of all the food keeps going up. Ryanair cabin staff strike as labour unrest spreads across Europe. I know there's been a lot of flights from different airlines cancelled, and I'm not sure exactly whether it's lack of pilots or baggage crew or check-in crew or everything. I don't know, but I know that that industry is having a lot of issues. So that says it's the cabin staff for Ryanair. They want to strike, so maybe they haven't got enough staff, and the ones that are there are getting overstretched and overworked. I imagine that's probably what's going on. What else? Technology is going to be all computer games that I don't really know much about. Love Island, no, I think I'll give that a miss. Yep, that's pretty much it. I'll steer clear of the news. See if I press the right button. Anyway, yeah, Harry, how you doing, mate? So yeah, that's it. I was just having a quick little chat. Just wanted to highlight about Dankula. If you're on Twitter, go and check out Dankula's tweets, because it's hilarious watching these Americans that don't have a clue about life or who he is or anything, screeching into the ether, not realizing that they're not actually talking to a real Supreme Court justice. It's so obvious, but yeah, you know. Anyway, that's amusing me tonight. That's it for me. The weekend starts here now. A little bit of work tomorrow morning, and then I am meeting some old workmates from a previous workplace for a few beers on the evening, which will be nice. I haven't done that for a little while. But you all have a great Saturday. Not Saturdays. I'm getting ahead of myself. Friday evening, whatever you are doing. Have a great Friday evening, everyone. Peace.